Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM23 Lions. This is episode 31. Quick, just channel note, very quick here. I'm having a little bit of chaos in my life. I'm getting back into the coaching season. I spent a whole day at a coach's clinic. I have all my trainings to do, requirements for the year that I've been knocking out many hours of that stuff. Been busy. Also, I own the daycare, and we had our graduation for our class that's heading off to kindergarten. I've been busy. And then on top of that, my wife and I, we have our anniversary this weekend, our 12th anniversary, and I'm going to Victoria, British Columbia for the weekend for just a quick getaway trip. Just busy right now. And through that busy, I'm missing some episodes here and there. I'm still going to have minimum one per day over this stretch. No problem with that. But there's just a few vacancies out there. I've had issues with F1 Manager and some bugs and the game crashing a lot, and it's taken a lot of extra time. And then, we had 104, 108, 103 degree days, 100 degree day, another 100 degree day. We've had 5 days of extreme heat. That's Fahrenheit. I'm trying to think what that would be Celsius wise. It's freaking hot is what it is, and it's impacted things. So I'm going to continue on with this series. I don't think this series is going to be impacted by the absent videos, but you may notice a few videos. I know a lot of you watch some of the other series on the channel beyond just this one. You might wake up to and expect a video. One of those may not be there on any given day over the next week or so, but I'll be back on my full schedule here soon enough with that, but just a few absent videos along the way. But anyway, let's get to our new season. Yes, we have a new season. Sadly, it's still in Continental, but we are now the best Continental team out there, which you would have thought that already because we have performed the best. We were just about the best, almost, not quite, a couple seasons ago. And then last season, we were the best Continental team out there. I think at the end, we actually finished second in points in all of Continental last season. So this season, I think the obvious goal is to be the best Continental team, to have the most points in Continental. We were near the top compared to Continental Pro teams, and that's without seeing a single World Tour race, and that's still going to be the case this year. One thing that is different this year is the evolution of our calendar. Our sponsor has evolved a little bit. Their demands are a little bit higher this year, but realistically, it's not that their demands are higher, it's they're a little more diverse. There's a few more races on the calendar this year that we did not have a year ago, and I'm excited by that because I would not be looking forward to the third and or fourth year running of just the same races again and again. I do like to see some variety in what we are experiencing. One thing that is not offering variety is what's happening regarding the salary, and it makes perfect sense. We are approaching the maximum salary that our sponsor can offer, and so here we are with 89,000 current, a super success, which we did pull off last season, though it was once again close. I would like to have that a little more straightforward, but definitely replicate the super success this year. 104,000, so just 15,000 increase. It's another small one, but right now we are actually nowhere near what our actual budget is, and we're putting away good money. We're up over $1 million in the bank now. That's nice. That's going to help us out in the long run. I do want to improve our staff, but I played the logic game and said, what would a Continental team do? Would they go out and spend big when they're on a limited budget to suddenly make a push to get up to a higher level? Or would they grow to a point where they are large enough that they are invited to join Continental Pro and then go, oh, hey, we've got a little bit of money here. We're still on a tight budget, but I think if we're in Continental Pro, we've got to step up our game and we've got to hire some better staff. I think logically narratively, that makes more sense to wait until we promote to Continental Pro to evolve the staff to the next level. I do have some better trainers out there. I have better doctors out there. Not better scouts. The scouts are what they are. But to make at least a step forward with the staff beyond where we're at right now, I am waiting for us to hit Continental Pro to do that, which means not this year. So we have the same staff back for another year. The team has evolved with Josh de Villiers being the latest to hit 4 stars. So there's now 3 at 4 stars, and Samuels with that huge jump that he had late that almost brought us. And, Josh de Villiers, if he had leveled up before the cutoff date for divisions, if he had not waited to do it for that 2.5 month span in between the end of the season and the start of the new season, he has come in at number 2. He has bumped Mullebron off that list. Now, they're both 4 stars, but the 1 or 2 or 3 tenths of a point better that de Villiers is under the hood versus Mullebron, and that's why he's ranked above him, that would have been enough. That absolutely 100% would have been enough. So it's a shame that we not only come so absurdly close to begin with, but to have somebody level up right after that hurts. My heart hurts. I had a hard time starting this recording today. It was a little bit delayed. Luckily, I had other work that had to get done, but I had to reset my brain a little bit, and I'm still mentally resetting that right now. If you couldn't tell at the end of the last episode, if you couldn't tell right now, I am hurting by that fact that we come just short. Carrying a little frustration that didn't happen in the timely manner that it nearly happened in. Regardless, we're into the new season. I'm going to do a very, very quick show for us on what our attributes are without much talk. Kareem, our best flat rated. We finally have one guy who can pull a train forward without destroying his teammates and without being swallowed up by everybody else in the field, even while trying to go a 99. Mountain rating, one guy, Samuels. That's it. And with a couple outgoing guys who are 72, 73 mountain, there is a void in that gap in between, but I'm sure very soon over the next few months that will rectify itself. Medium mountain's looking a little bit healthier with a bunch of guys at 72 plus. Hills, Josh de Villiers with that level up, he's got a 76 hills. He does not have the mountain and medium mountain to go with it, so it's going to have to be right race for him to be effective. But Mullebron is definitely more well-rounded, so more often will end up being our puncher. Time trial and prologue, we're making some progress here. We had nothing 70 plus just a short while ago, and all of a sudden we're at 3 guys at 72s and better. Ruteasir with his 78 prologue is super helpful, especially a lot of our Continental or lower Continental Pro time trials are not full time trials. They're not lengthy time trials. They are as much or more prologue than time trial, which means that prologue rating is handy. Couple, yeah, we're not there yet, but 4 guys that are a 68 or better in minor races will hang in there. I mean, Paris-Roubaix, these guys would get hammered. They would absolutely get destroyed. But we're starting to get something of a classics team that can at least handle some 2 or 3 star sectors with ease. Sprint, not there, but look at this. Matt de Villiers, the brother, or at least narratively, it's the brother, right? Sprint, 73, acceleration, 74. He is already better than any sprinter we just had. We lost the 2 leaders. He was the number 3 guy. He has not only caught them, but he passed both of them from wherever I left off using him as part of it to now. He has leveled up recently and is already better than them. What he doesn't have, though, is the climbing capability. So it's very much on the flat, and he doesn't have much of a support system. Ansa, minor acceleration, good top speed, would have to be that lead out now. Kareem would be that other guy, and we have a little bit something there. De Villiers, couple more points, another level up, and I think we could actually start competing in the sprint once again. Downhill, we've got some capability. Barrador doesn't matter. Stamina is getting there at tolerable levels. Same with resistance and recovery. The team is getting better. It is. It's just, can we put it together? Well, for Continental, no problem. Continental Pro, we would have been the worst team in Continental Pro, struggling to compete, but we would have had better races, and I know how I play. I pull results that aren't expected on paper. So we would have been competitive, but it would have been tough. This year should be one of the easiest ones we're going to have. We're going to perform well in some low-level races and would be a great opportunity. By the way, January 1st came, zero, not one nation in the entire world saw a training increase this year. As for the key races for the year that we will be conducting, we have had a changeover. Mallorca is now one of our key races at 3.5 stars, 4 stages, top 5, and that's been another change. We were littered with stage win necessities. Now we're looking at top 5s, top 10s more frequently than stage wins. Saudi Arabia is still there, still stage win, still 3 stars, but Oman has flipped from a stage win to a top 5. Murcia is a new one that has been added to the list, 2.5 stars, not major, but certainly a key race, and that should be a pretty top 10, pretty easy top 10 to get. Seribana was a key race, no longer, it's just half star. It's been replaced by a top 5 requirement for the Pays de la Loire. I think that's the worst pronunciation of French that I have. I'm pretty sure I've heard it pronounced before and went like, huh? That's how it's pronounced? And then, but it was so confusing that it has not committed to memory properly. There's exactly what I was talking about with Prologue. 5K, that's 100% Prologue. No use of time trial rating whatsoever. And a punchy, pretty easy, straightforward, punchy final stage. Couple sprint stages in between. That one, if you can put in a good Prologue and hang in on the punchy stage, that top 5 seems pretty manageable. Mercator falls off to a minor race. A new one on the calendar for us is the Belgian race, Belgique, 3 stars, and again, mostly Prologue. It's 10K to Pro, punchy final stage. Österreich is still there, but now just a 2-star objective. And then our biggest objective falls after the window of we have already locked in our sponsor confidence, and it will be our first time at Britain's Tour. One obstacle this year, which nothing new for us, is we've really struggled to get anything registered riders or a proper squad evaluation in recent years. Last year it was worse. This year it continually is getting worse. In fact, Mullebrun's rating, his evaluation has fallen off a bit further from where it was, even though he was successful. And I get it. We're in Continental. He was at a bigger level before, and now he's here. I get that his reputation's getting smaller. We are a nothing team in the grand scheme of things. We're down in Continental. But without Gibbons, our top South Africa guy is now Samuels. He does not have the same evaluation, but he now has the kind of rating that we can actually find some success with. So will he build that popularity in the short term to replace or even overtake what Gibbons was giving us popularity-wise before? He's certainly a better rider than Gibbons was, certainly capable of that, but with our calendar, what can he actually do? Mallorca, top 5 objective. Just the 2 stages that are going to make the difference on this one, the 2 climbing stages, the sprint stages. I didn't even bring any sprinters. My sprint team is mostly defunct right now anyway, and fortunately most of the races that are going to matter this year aren't going to rely on sprints anyway. So Matoni in the break, stage 3 of 5. He's got his water. I didn't have the easiest time getting and staying in this breakaway, but we got there. We're set. He's hanging in there. Pace lifted a little bit, but they're only 2 minutes ahead. The big climb, the only real obstacle of the day, is just ahead of us. The finish is a punchy little one. Matoni's here just in case the breakaway hangs on, and we can maybe utilize him later. Back in the field, everybody's got their objectives for this race, the entire team. So expected was +2s across the board. We came out pretty decently with that. We've got a net +2 compared to what was expected. So that's rarefied air for us. Shimway, and we're just getting the water here. Samuels gets the +3, so those guys getting those bonuses. This could come down to a sprint, so a punchy finish. So it could be a Mullebron or Samuels kind of day. Matoni, who has struggled at times to keep up with these guys, is more or less managing to do so. Though I have a feeling he will not make it through this climb within the group, but it's okay. We're giving it a shot. The group's going to be a lot smaller. He's not the only one that would end up getting dropped, I'm sure. These guys, how we doing with our 75? Not terribly well, but not so bad. Let's up that to about a 78. Try to hold that position a little bit better. Still 9K to go on the climb. And again, surviving, but not looking great to make it all the way up. In fact, nobody's looking that great to make it all the way up. Arab looking like the first one who is going to get dropped. So we'll go ahead and use his gel now. He's got a 70 mountain, 73 medium mountain base. Of course, everybody's in the 78 range, so we're not pushing too hard. Whole team holding position decently with the 78. Arab's gel kicks in. Under 5K to go. Matoni hanging in there. Be surprised if the entire field's still together at the top of this. Most of it is. Under 3K. Matoni, his problem is going to be that there's going to be an attack for the KOM points. He's going to have a real hard time keeping up with that. Arab is beginning his fade. We need to protect Samuels as our leader, so Burhi needs to take over on that. Matoni under a kilometer. There's that push. 3 riders going clear. But everybody else makes it. De Villiers, barely, but he does make it over the top. And in position, so he's not way behind. 111 left in the peloton. Some dropped, but certainly not all. Front 8 are all back together. Not a great descent for the sake of recovery. Minute and a half is not nothing for a gap, but it's not much. 44K to go. Let's go ahead and get water again. Speaking of, let's go ahead and get water again. De Villiers, go ahead and take care of it. Positioning's fine for the guys. Mullebron Samuels, with the further descent coming, will get back to full strength before the final climb, but not everybody will. 1 minute advantage, that's not enough, so Matoni is going to now sit on. I'm no longer going to contribute this descent here. Another opportunity, and somebody is attacking Verveke. And he's already reeled it. Water's taken care of. We're good to go till the end of the race. Here is that recovery stage. Samuel's back to full. Shimway, Mullebron full. Burhi, De Villiers are getting there. And Matoni also getting a good amount of recovery here with 45-second advantage. $5K till a sprint coming. 20K. Group no longer cooperating. Final stretch. Punchy finish, maybe 3 kilometers worth of climbing. So we are trying to get up to the front here. De Villiers, better flat rating, helping us with this prospect of trying to get up there. But you can see for now he's still not even at the front, let alone getting his teammates at the front. But now he does. 5K to go. This will help break the toe behind us too as we set up. And here we go. It's slight uphill from here. 3.4K gel for everyone else. No longer needing a 99. Now we're into about 95 territory. Inside 3K. And well positioned. Burhi gets us down to 2.2. So he just let us out for 8K. And we have split the field. Mutoni has split the field. Okay, these two can sit up. They just did their job. $2.2K. Let's go at 94. Will they regain contact with us? We still have separation. In fact, we are now adding to that separation as Burhi gets dropped. If they make contact with him, then we sit up. Top 3. Inside the final kilometer. Shimway. Shimway is going to sprint. Now 600 meters for Samuels and Molebron. Don't care who takes the win. This is going to be a 1, 2, 3 finish. Yeah. Molebron, Samuels, Shimway. Pogacar is here? Bro! Brenner, Yates, Stewart. We just beat that field? Oh man. Oh, that felt good. Oh, that felt real good. Time gaps given. Molebron wins on same time as Samuels. 3-second gap to a Shimway. 14 seconds to brand new Ineos Grenadier rider Tadej Pogacar. Pogacar leaving UAE after struggling last season. 22 seconds to the next group. 27, 31, 42 seconds. Solid gaps with one stage to go. We've got this top 5 happening regardless of what happens on the next stage. But the next stage will not be easy. We'll see what we can do with that one as well. Can we hang on to this exceedingly strong position that we now find ourselves in? Especially when you throw in those time gaps on top of it. 21 seconds ahead of Jake Stewart, who is 4th overall after taking time on the first couple of stages. Working hard to manage the break here on stage number 4. We'll come through in pockets on this one. In the end, 9 riders have gotten away. There was an attempt to make it something like 30. I pulled back a lot of them. It was something like 15. It split up. It was 8. After that, I pulled back the other 7. Then, just as it was almost out to the 2 minutes to be firmly established, another handful of riders go on the attack trying to get out there. 1 successfully bridged the gap. Each of the others I was able to pull back and then pull back and then pull back until finally they got their 2+ minutes and everybody else stopped trying. So 9 riders in the break, 3.5 minute advantage, and I have 3 riders working to keep things close. And why? Because we have every single spot on the podium. We are the team that's going to have to pull this back. Now, there are other teams that absolutely should contribute, that have a much better chance, that have much bigger names. Lots of World Tour teams here at this race. But it's on us because we have that podium. So for now, I'm going to try to keep this group at roughly 3.5 minutes. I'm also going to go check on what sort of deficits those riders have to see if any of them are a threat to the overall, and how much of a threat are they, to kind of estimate how close I need to keep them. But I don't want to overcommit to the chase. If I can, I'd happily let them take the stage at a small gap, and then we can just focus mostly on protecting the leaders and getting to the end. There's only two threats. One, everybody's about 4 minutes or more down, but Mertens is 3:09. That's not a big threat, but that's a minor threat to keep an eye on. But Cepeda is the biggest threat. 77 mountain, 77 medium mountain, absolutely can climb and get through the day. And at a minute 25 down, could be a massive threat, and has a second Bahrain rider to support him. And they've already pulled out 5.5 minutes, so I think I'm going to have to ride a little bit harder to keep things in check on this one. 111K to go. At least the distance isn't crazy, but I do not have a team that's built to protect leads. I have a team that's built to protect riders and survive and compete for top 10s, top 5s, but not necessarily for wins. We managed to stabilize the gap at 6 minutes, riding at a 70. I'm now riding at a 72 to see if we can cut into it a little bit, or at least put that group under pressure a little bit. They are approaching the top of this category 2. It's opening the gap as they're starting to ramp up their speed, which again, this is putting us under a bit of threat here, and we're going to have to up that speed as well as we go into this later phase of this race. This is not looking great right now. I've only got 3 guys. Nobody else is contributing at all. At least one rider is now dropped unless he can regain contact. He's only 20 seconds, and he does. And it's out to 7.5 minutes as they continue to push on. My 3 guys are getting really tired here, and that gap is just growing and growing, and no one is stepping up to support. So this is starting to make me nervous. 75K and a big gap. Finally cutting into it, we pull back 30 seconds. With a descent coming, can we pull back some more? The rest of the team is looking okay, but this is going to put us down 3 riders. I don't mind that group, those 2 guys, taking time. I wouldn't mind those 2 guys taking the win, necessarily. As long as we're hanging on to, 3rd, 4th, 5th sort of thing. But I doubt that that's even the circumstances. There's just too much firepower in this field. And with everyone sitting back and going, it's not our job, this is a problem. I should have put somebody in the breakaway today, because then they would have chased. That would have been the easier thing to do than what I'm trying to do here. There we go. Base of the main climb, and it's a big double one. There's very little recovery in between. Arab's going to have to join these guys at the front here fairly soon. Front group is starting to split up. Good. That means we have put them under pressure, and it's starting to show. One rider is coming back to us. Let's see which one is it, though. Okay, Savetko. That's the protector for that main leader. But this is still a 7-minute gap. They are pulling out further once again. And finally, other teams coming up to support. That's what we've been needing. Lagac has also been dropped. So down to 7. But a very healthy advantage. Bilbao? Are you attacking Bilbao? I think you are. Does look like it. Appear to be the case. Okay, we can use these guys. Well, there's others now. There's others chasing now. Berhe will continue to ride for the break so that we are contributing, and then we're going to protect either Mullabron or a Shimway. Oh, Mullabron's the leader, so we'll put him there. Gel up for Brehe. Gel up for De Villiers. Tony too far behind to do anything. Now a front 7. And a minute has been pulled back since the other teams finally decide to contribute. Means this is going to be hard right here. Nice long descent to recover on, so holding position here absolutely matters a lot right now. And Brehe goes out the back. Same with De Villiers. 114. Now 113. There goes Arab. I was hoping he was going to make the top, but it looks like he will not. 1K to go to the top. Down to 4 minutes on that group. 4 minutes was kind of the key. There's the 2 guys that are within that range. Mertens has been dropped, so Mertens is one of those 2 guys. Cepeda is the only one left who is a threat to the overall. Arab has been dropped. Didn't make the top. Down to 86 riders. Getting a little recovery in right now. 20K to go. Down to the guys who sit first, second, and third. We will not ride to chase the front group anymore. We are going to ride to protect Samuels primarily, even though he's second overall. Arab back into the group. Arab has regained contact. Let's protect Samuels. 10K to go. There's a front 5 and 2 in between. Okay, I don't think an 85 is going to do it anymore, so let's up this to that medium mountain 90. 8.5K overall. Arab, Gel. Too far behind to actually offer help, so let's use a Shimway to protect. Arab, try to protect Molebron. Shimway Gel. And here come the attacks, which this is the one we would need to respond to, kind of a thing. As there goes Brenner. Oh, come on, because there goes the other leaders. Pogacar, Bilbao. I was expecting somebody to chase them, and instead they're all just attacking, which means it's really on me to do something. He's not going to make contact, so we'll put him behind. Samuels is the leader. Molebron and Shimway. So Shimway's going to have no choice here, folks. Absolutely no choice. We have to chase, and that is freaking terrible. But it's literally just one rider after another trying to get off the front. Splits the field down to 44 chasing. Down to 3.5 minutes to the front group. So there's really only the one threat up there plus the 2 threats up there. So that's 3 threats, which means right now we are kind of locked in on 4th position. 3.3K. Going as fast as we can. Final uphill finish. And 2K. Cepeda takes 3rd. He's going to get 4 bonus seconds. Molebron, 1.6K. Sprinting. Final kilometer for Samuels. Sprinting. He'll be beaten by others. Pogacar crosses the line, gains a little time. Brenner gains a little time. I think we've got our top 5 secured. I don't know if we have a podium secured anymore. Cepeda has a chance to be moving up. No, Cepeda will move up. Cepeda could be winning this thing overall, I think. Mertens was still ahead of us, but not far enough ahead to be a threat. Pogacar, Brenner, the other 2 that are threats. So are we 4th and 5th? I think we might still be good enough for 3rd, I hope. Starting with the stage. So Cepeda, same time at the front, even though we saw him come in. His name covered a lot later than Imana. But okay, whatever. 2:59 was that gap. He was a minute something down. So yes, Cepeda is going to move up to the top of the standings. Mertens was the other one who was a threat. He was 3 minutes down. He finishes close to 2 minutes ahead, so he will not pass us. So we're safe there. Pogačar gains 20 seconds, no bonuses. What was our gap like to him? Was it about 21? We might still be ahead of him. That might be a second place, maybe, by 1 second. I think we were 21 seconds ahead of Pogačar, except that was to Mullebron. Mullebron is 7 seconds further down. So no. We were 4 seconds down. So Pogačar, so here's what I think. I think Cepeda won. I think Pogačar is going to just move into second place. I do not know where Brenner was, but he had to have been more than that 21 seconds down, which means Samuels and Mullebron each should be third and fourth, with Samuels overtaking Mullebron in that, and a Shimway fifth, unless Brenner has moved ahead of a Shimway, which I don't think he'll have done so. Maybe 15 seconds. So maybe. Otherwise, though, they're all still highly placed. Yes, okay, I read it correctly. Same time between Samuels and Pogačar. Wow, it was like 24 seconds. Man, oh man. Okay, so Cepeda does win. Pogačar takes second. Samuels third. Mullebron fourth. Shimway fifth. We needed a top 5. We got a podium, so it's a super success for the race. It's 3 riders in the top 5 with an insanely strong field. Guys in their 80s. We do have our one with a 78, but we certainly do not have a well-rounded team capable of doing what we just did. But that third stage was freaking awesome. This fourth stage was tough. It was really tough because we were trying to protect a lead. It blew up our domestiques, which made it harder to protect the other guys, and yet those top 3, those key guys, just about got there in the end. That breakaway, though, was too much for us alone. The other teams got busy after a while and got on with it, but too late. And then they almost destroyed us in the process, so hanging on. All in all, that was a hard-fought result. There is one more stage to go, but this is a great start to our season. The other one's a sprint stage. It won't change anything. We're not going to beat Pogačar in that. No way, no how. The guy is way too good. I'm impressed with what we managed to do here under the circumstances. But that is going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.